and Jack from Cultaholic, and it is another pay-per-view weekend, Jack. You've just recovered from Wrestle Kingdom.
It's okay.
You alright to do another?
I'm looking forward to it because it's NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
On Ice Part 7.
Run a show in Newcastle.
Oh, yeah, do it, for God's sake. So NXT UK, first big show for them since Cardiff.
Yes.
These are always sleeper shows.
Yeah, they are.
Always. Like, nobody thinks they're going to amount to much in the nicest way possible, and then they always blow it out of the water.
Yeah.
So I, for one, am excited to spend Sunday night sat with thee, watching the whole thing.
Yes, we'll be doing a live stream, so join us and have a little watch of the UK wrestling. Come on.
How about we break it down match by match and have ourselves no punishments for this one, little predictions contest. It's for pride.
Oh, the most dangerous of all punishments.
And the best U2 song.
So first up, we have Tyler Bate versus Jordan Devlin. Tom, I think this is going to be potentially match of the night straight off the bat. They're both really good.
I feel like we're going to say this for every match.
That's very true. But I especially think these two are two of the best wrestlers in the world going up against each other. Who have you got and why? I'm
picking Jordan Devlin on this. I think they've really started to get behind Devlin a little bit more. I think that they're still at this point where they're trying to, they're building stars on the NXT UK brand. They've got some. They could do with a few more in case, I don't know, Tyler Bate goes to the American one. So I think putting Jordan Devlin in that position where he beats Tyler Bate in NXT UK will do well to put him there. Who have you got and why?
I've agreed with you. I've also gone for Jordan Devlin for this one. I think that Tyler Bate has really... He's always been there or thereabouts, hasn't he? He's always been near the top of the card, near the title, or just below it. And I think that he's give someone else a turn. Not saying that I'm sick of seeing him, because he always delivers in every match that he has. But at the same time, I agree, they're starting to get behind Jordan Devlin. They're starting to build him up. And I think that once he gets to that level and starts to mix it up with the main eventers of that brand, there's going to be some absolutely amazing matches. If he or Walter were to turn face, we already know about the amazing matches they can have together. But for now, I just think this will be a little stepping stone in the right direction for Devers.
Do you think this could be potentially Tyler Bates' swan song in NXT UK? Putting that out there?
I think
because there's a lot of talk that he'll go over to the American one.
I think it could be a mini swan song, a signet
a
signet swan. And then eventually we'll get a big swan song at the next takeover maybe. But I'm going for Jordan Devlin as well.
Double Devlin. Next, it's Eddie Dennis taking on Trent Seven one-on-one. Jack, who have you got and why?
I don't know. This is a difficult one. This is probably the one I've and ahed the most over. I think I'm going to go for Trent Seven, and my reasoning is not sound at all. It's a really bad one. It's just that I think that Tyler Bate's going to lose, so I think the other half of Mustache Mountain's going to win. Which is not the way to do these predictions, because you shouldn't link them together, because if one goes wrong, it's like Jenga. You could just pull the whole tower of predictions down. And then what happens? It's the end of Sunday night and I've got no pride left. But I'm going for Trent Seven. I think, and I'm sure you agree, I know you're a big fan of his, he's one of the most charismatic and hilarious guys in wrestling when he's given the chance. And I would love to see him win this match and move on to a feud where, or if this feud continues, either or, but I'd love for the next stage of Trent Seven in NXT UK to be something where he can showcase his promo ability a little bit more, because he is really, really entertaining on the mic. What about you?
Now, as you say, you're right. I am a massive fan of Wolverhampton boy Trent Seven, but I don't think he's winning.
Whoa!
I don't think he's winning. I think Eddie Dennis is now back from injury. I believe there was big plans for Eddie Dennis before he got injured. I think those plans are still there. He kind of fits that role that WWE top brass like, sort of tall guy with a charisma and all this stuff. I think he will do very well there, and I think that Trent Seven can take a loss. Trent Seven won't be hurt by losing to somebody of the caliber of Eddie Dennis. And to harken back to your theory about linking the results together, I'm doing that here. I'm predicting I'm doubling down.
Okay.
Double loss for Mustache Mountain.
Okay.
And so if it does end up being maybe a signet song for Tyler Bate, this is where they kind of meet up the following week and go, hey, look, we've got to get our stuff together because we lost both matches.
Yeah.
You know, whether this means like we see a rousing return to the tag division for Mustache Mountain or not, I think it just re-establishes Eddie Dennis, who's been away for a long time from the in-ring competition. I think putting him in there and putting him with a big win over Trent Seven, I think will do him wonders.
Could Mustache Mountain turn on each other if frustrations about losses mount?
Ooh.
Mountain.
Mustache Mountain losses keep mountain.
Must lost mountain.
Must lost mountain. Aha, possibly.
Maybe.
I mean, what's lovely is, being as part of the Brit dress scene over here, you've seen so many of these guys already have quality matches against one another in different promotions. We know, should Trent Seven start to ascend again, Trent and Volta have had some crackers.
Yeah.
And there's chemistry with them as well. Eddie and Volta, I couldn't see happening straight away, but I think that's why I think Eddie's still winning now. I think this is just establishing Eddie for the time being. Move him up a little bit.
I think Trent, just because, what have I done? Your reasoning was far more well thought out than mine. I think he's got a lovely little face.
He has got a smashing face.
Yeah. Next up, the triple threat match for the NXT UK Women's Championship. It's the champion Kaylee Ray taking on Piper Niven and Toni Storm. Tom, who have you gone for and why?
I'm putting the belt back on Toni.
Okay.
I don't know why. I feel like that there's still something to come from Toni's revenge.
Her reign seemed to blow over quite quickly, didn't it? Especially after a big triumphant win over Rhea.
Yeah, it felt really stop-start, the sort of the placement of the women's title, because obviously Rhea Ripley won it in a big shock to become the first ever women's champion. Toni won it a short while back after that, and then Toni and Kaylee Ray had a bit of an underwhelming collision at TakeOver Cardiff, and I feel like there's some work to be done with these guys, put them back in the ring together. I think this is where Toni gets that win back over Kaylee and takes the women's championship back with her. I think Kaylee Ray showcased how good she can be as part of the NXT, the American roster. I don't think she's going there anytime soon. I think out of these two, if anyone's going to go there, it will probably be Toni at some point. But give her one more run with the UK Championship, even get to a point where you have the belt on. You think about this, you could even have it so as Worlds Collide coming up.
Right.
Which is NXT versus NXT UK.
Yes.
You could even have a nice little babyface encounter, a bit of a rekindling of an old rivalry with Rhea Ripley as the women's champion in NXT, taking on Toni Storm, the NXT UK women's champion. Do that again, that'd be quite nice. So that's why I think Toni's taking the belt. I don't know about, I'm presuming Piper Niven's going to be good for it.
Oh, yeah.
Because we know Piper Niven had a bout of Bell's palsy a while back.
Yes.
And I'm hoping she's made a full recovery, because I love watching Piper Niven do her thing. But it's still going to be Toni. Who you got and why?
I'm going for... Originally, I was going to go for Piper Niven. I thought, yes, get the belt on her. She's one of my favourite women's wrestlers. I think she's fantastic. But at the same time, I think that Kaylee Ray should retain and shall retain by nefarious means, because she's a bit of a heel. She's not a bit of a heel, she's a heel. And I know then, I think that's going to lead somehow to getting the big all-Scottish showdown between Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven, and then Piper will, get the big babyface victory at a later date.
Maybe maybe we do like an NXT takeover Glasgow.
Yes, that would be a great show.
Kaylee Ray, Piper Niven right at the top.
But can you imagine Reddit's confusion at the chance? First of all, there'd be a lot of them. There'd be a lot, and also they wouldn't understand what they were saying, so they'd be like, they were just making noises rhythmically in the crowd.
The chants at Cardiff. I love the confusion of everybody. When they were chanting, it was the rugby chant, wasn't it? Oh, take me home.
Oh,
they were doing at Cardiff, which is basically the Cardiff version of Fight Forever.
Right.
Okay. Oh, don't take me home. Oh, I love it. Oh, Blackpool, do us proud. I love British chants in wrestling.
I love British chants.
Are you watching Vince McMahon?
However, if they were to come to Newcastle, as I say again, I really want that to happen. But again, it would just be a mystery to everybody else. What are they talking about? Are they waving sausage rolls in the air?
Why is he waving a sausage? What is even a sausage roll?
Why would you roll a sausage? I thought, when they announced they were doing Blackpool and then Cardiff, I thought, you know what? That's not like London and Manchester and stuff. That's a slightly smaller market. And I thought next one will be Newcastle. And I convinced myself so much. And then they've gone Blackpool 2.
I think they'll go very south for the next one. Maybe Brighton.
Isle of Wight. Out of the hometown.
AJ Hazard wins the NXT UK Women's Championship on the grandest stage of them all in this four-way. No, he doesn't. He doesn't win that one. So you're going Kaylee Ray?
I'm going Kaylee Ray to retain.
Amazing. I'm going to go Toni Storm. Good luck, everybody. The NXT UK Tag Team Championships are on the line in a ladder match. It is Gallus, Wolfgang and Mark Coffey versus Imperium, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. Nice.
I don't know what that is.
Zack, Gibson, James Drake, and Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. Nice!
I know, they're just happy little lads, aren't they?
Happy little lads.
One of them plays the guitar. The other one's a big fan of the Jam and bands of that ilk.
Like that.
What are they like, those guys?
Very, very good. Who you got and why?
My heart says Flash, Morgan Webster and Mandrews because I love them. I think they're fantastic. And the match where they won the belts was so good. It was in Cardiff. Everyone was on their side. No one really thought they could win either. And then they did, and it was just a perfect mixture of everything. So, and I was really sad when they lost the belts. But my heart says them, my head says Imperium. Because at the moment, you've got Volta being a big dominant champion and everything, and that's great, that's really good. And I think they might go the Undisputed Era route and just have Imperium win the tag titles as well and stack that stable with gold for now. So I'm going for Aichner and Barthel. I also think that they'll win in not pleasing fashion because all the other people are going to be doing big power moves with the ladders and flips and everything, and I think they'll just eke out a little victory and everyone will just be like, oh, you dastardly men. What about you?
I'm actually same as you. I think Imperium.
Okay.
I think they've been one of the more dominant tag teams on NXT UK. They seem just to win every single week, and this feels like a nice fit in the same way as you say, like the Undisputed Era fashion of all the belts, all the gold. And plus we are, apparently we're heading towards Undisputed Era versus Imperium.
Okay.
So again, hoy all the belts on all the lads.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
It's a nice little match there. I like it a lot. I think it's whatever happens. I think it's going to be a heck of a match.
Yeah.
It's like one of these opportunities, and again, this is what we say when we talk about these NXT UK takeovers. Is they are sleeper shows, and these 8 incredibly talented human beings have just been given a feature position on the card and a whole bunch of ladders.
Yeah. Oh, I hope that Mark Andrews does okay because everyone does well. But
just Mark Andrews.
No.
Everyone else can sod off.
No, myself and Sam went to the Progress Wembley show in 2018. I think it was the back end of 2018, and we saw a TLC match between Mark Andrews and Eddie Dennis. And it was a match where just the tables refused to break for Mark Andrews. Oh. Eddie Dennis would be throwing him from a ladder onto a table and he'd just bounce off it. To the point where the crowd were all just wincing as he was being set up for the next spot. We were like, please break this time. And it wouldn't, and he'd just bounce off. And Andrews, be careful. Be careful.
It's WWE, so I'm sure they've got the chairs and tables and ladders all specially checked.
I hope so.
Specially sorted for the whole thing. Let's predict one big spot. For that match. Ticket to Mayhem off the ladders.
Okay.
Someone's going to come hoying off the ladders, and Grizzled Young Vets do a Ticket to Mayhem.
Yeah,
off
that's
the ladders.
a good one. I'll go for Wolfgang to do a lovely swanton onto someone on a ladder, or onto a ladder onto some sort of ladder person combination.
Oh, I hope he's all right. He's my good lady's favourite.
Really?
If he gets hurt.
Why does she like Wolfgang so much?
Just loves him. She watched Alex sometimes watches the wrestling with me, and we watched the first ever the UK Championship tournament.
Yes.
Wolfgang came out, lovely hairy Scottish man who talks about running a bar. She's like, I like him. And I bet he gives good cuddles, is the words. And you know what? I bet he does, but I wouldn't say that to his face. He'll probably deck me.
Yes.
But good luck, Gallus. Good luck, everybody. It's sporty, isn't it? Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Double Imperium here.
Yes. And finally, the WWE United Kingdom Championship match between the indestructible so far champion Volta, unless it's Survivor Series, versus the challenger Joe Coffey of Gallus. Tom, who have you gone for and why?
They've done a really good job on NXT UK making Joe Coffey into a credible contender for this belt. When this match was sort of talked about early on, I was like, I don't know whether this is going to feel right. But they made Coffey look like a threat, and excellent booking such. However, Volta's winning. I don't think this is Coffey's time right now. And I think Volta really needs a bit of rehabilitation after Survivor Series. What were you thinking, WWE? What was wrestling thinking? Having Volta lose so quickly in that match, didn't like it at all. So Volta needs to have I'm sure it'd be a competitive match with Joe Coffey. Volta's great in the sense that he, unlike Brock Lesnar, doesn't just dominate everybody. Volta always feels like you could possibly beat Volta.
Yes.
You know.
I mean, look at that match with Tyler Bate at the last TakeOver, which was a match of the year contender for last year as well.
Oh, and the reason that felt like such a big competition because it felt doable. It felt doable to beat Volta.
Yeah.
And Volta's really good at that, but I still think Volta will eke out the big win. I think that lariat is sort of being set up as his big move now. He does that running every time he nailed that running lariat, they're done. So Stan Hansen-esque lariat to win over Joe Coffey. How you got and why?
I've gone for Volta as well, but I didn't look at it. Weirdly, it was a weird pick for me. I didn't look at the match itself. I didn't look at the guys involved. I looked at who has the more viable opponents later on if they have the belt. So I feel like Volta is in a really good position now to take on multiple different guys and have really compelling feuds with them for the foreseeable future. One would be Jordan Devlin, as I mentioned earlier, if Devlin were to turn face, because I don't know if it will quite work as a heel versus heel contest. Another one would be Ilya Dragunov. We've seen Volta versus Dragunov before in various different promotions, especially WXW, and they always just tear the house down. They've got an incredible chemistry, and Dragunov would be the perfect sort of guy, I think, to eventually maybe even topple Volta and take the title. He's smaller, but he wrestles with an intensity that just nobody else really has, and I think the crowd on his back as he was surging up to beat Volta would be just an incredible moment. But bringing it back to this match, I do think that Volta will retain. However, you mentioned the big lariat. Joe Coffey's got a big lariat as well.
Oh,
all the best for the bells.
All the best for the bells.
Remember the bells.
Remember the
doesn't
bells.
That mean like Happy New Year?
Basically, yeah.
Why does he? What's he?
Because when he hits you with it, you're knocked into next year.
That's probably why.
I'm just guessing.
No, that's probably why. If you'd said that, I would have believed
Happy New
it.
Year, pal. All the best for the bells.
That's very believable. Right, well, there we go. I think that Volta's lariat will be nullified by Joe Coffey, and Volta will find a different way to win. Probably just by being a bear and just
mauling him mainly.
Why not?
So those are the predictions then. Again, no punishment for this. Just a lot of pride on the line. Join us Sunday, 5 o'clock UK time, I believe it starts.
Oh,
I believe it is. We will look if
around then.
Yeah, basically join us early evening Sunday. We'll be watching, and you'll be watching along with us. NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 Part 7 on Ice Electric Boogaloo. We will see you on Sunday.
Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter @Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.